All right, we'll go ahead and get started today. Again, my name is Hannah Pig. I'm a career advisor in the Center for Career Exploration and Success. And today we're going to talk about how to prepare for the Just-in-Time Career Fair. We're really glad to be able to offer you an opportunity to connect with employers during this very unusual time. So we will have 20 employers at our Just-in-Time Fair on Wednesday, May 6th from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're excited to let you know how you can best prepare that and to help you become familiar with the software that we'll be using to bring that to you. So today we will also have a chat monitor. So if you have questions, feel free to chat those in. But really, if you want to just watch our whole session to be able to learn about the software, and then we'll take a lot of questions at the end. This is a new software to our office, so we are also trying to figure it out as we go. So please give us feedback and grace as we figure that out together. So I'll go ahead and get started. Right here we have our main page to our website. I will actually put this link in the chat here so that you can also follow along with that. So on our main page here, you can just click on this first graphic for the Just-in-Time Fair. This is going to be a really good place for you to go to get all the information you need about the fair coming up on Wednesday. So you can see the date and time. This will take you to Handshake. We're going to visit that in just a little bit, where you can actually view all the employers that will be at the fair. This gives you information about how to register for the fair. We'll walk through that together, but if you need more information or need a refresher on that, you can go to this link right here. And then this is going to be the link to actually register for the Just-in-Time Fair. The website that we'll be using is called vFair, so you'll hear me refer to that a lot today. But again, we'll walk you through all of that. And then over on the side here on this web page, you can see another way that you can view all the employers that will be attending the fair. So you can click on these links to learn more about the employers that we'll have there. As you can see, these employers have over 1,000 total opportunities for jobs and internships, so that's pretty awesome that you're able to connect with that many different opportunities. So again, that's just on our Career Center website that you can access this. And again, it's just a really good place for you to check in about all the details and to get to the right website that you need to get to. So we're going to hop over to Handshake. Again, you can access that right here on our page for the Just-in-Time Fair, or you can access this through your My Miami account. So when you pull up Handshake, this is our online job board, but it does a whole lot more than that. So once you're on your main page of Handshake, to find the Just-in-Time Fair, you'll go to the Events tab. Take a little bit to load. And then you'll click on Fair Search. And from Fair Search, this is where you can see our upcoming fairs. So the first one there is going to be the Miami University Just-in-Time Fair. So this is going to give you all the information that you need to register for the fair. So you actually don't need to register on Handshake. You'll register through vFairs, and I'll show you how to do that in just a little bit. So the link for that is going to be right here. That's the same link that's provided on the website as well. But the main thing that I wanted to show you on Handshake is that you can also view the employers here. So you can click on See More Employers, and it'll give you a list of all the employers that will be at the Just-in-Time Fair. And it'll take you right to their website, or you can click to view their Handshake page as well. It gives you a description of the employers. You can filter and search the employers. There's only 20 though, so I really recommend looking through all these different employers and taking the opportunity to connect with as many as you can. But again, you don't need to register for the fair on Handshake. You do need to register for the fair on vFairs. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over to vFairs. I will also post this link in the chat so that you can jump in as well. So this is the website for vFairs. This is where you'll register. So right here up at the top, you'll click this Register Now button, and it'll have you fill out some different prompts. So your name, your email address, your phone number. It'll have you make a password. That's just for vFairs, not for anything else. And then it'll have you upload a resume. So upload a PDF copy of your resume. Make sure you name it something simple, just your first name, your last name, and then resume is always recommended. And then we also have a space for you to fill in your majors or minors. Employers at the virtual career fair will actually be able to search by major and minor. So make sure that you include all your different majors and minors there so that they can find you. and then you'll just hit this register button. So going back to the home page, this will show you all the information that you need about the fair. So it gives you date and time. It talks a little bit about what's going to be going on at this fair. You'll be able to view all the list of employers here as well. There's some frequently asked questions, and then down here is a really important piece. If you have questions throughout this whole process, leading up to the fair or during the fair, there's a contact information for myself and for one of my coworkers, Wendy Owens. We can help you out, and you can call us or email us before or during the fair, and we'll be able to answer your questions. So that information is right there for you. So moving on to actually logging into VFairs. So again, you do need to register ahead of time, but you actually will not have access to VFairs until the event starts. So I have this access right here to log in, but again, you will not have access to log in until the actual fair starts at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Right now, if you were to do that after registering, it's going to tell you that you don't have access, but don't worry. As soon as the fair starts, you will have access to that. So I'm going to click to log in. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It looks like Armstrong Student Center, so it should look a little bit familiar. You can really click on anywhere on the screen. So just click on front door or wherever you'd like, and it just walks you right in. This should also look familiar. The seal right by the cafeteria in Armstrong. This is just kind of our lobby for the career fair. So we're going to walk through this top bar here and talk to you about what you can expect in the actual fair. So when you log in, you'll see exactly this. So we'll go to the first tab that is the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall is really the main space where you're going to be interacting with employers. So you can see it looks just like a career fair would. Each employer has their own booth, and then you just kind of go to the right to scroll over to see all the different booths that are there for you to interact with. You can also view the employers down here at the bottom left-hand corner. There'll be a list just in the exhibitor index where you can just click on the employers and it'll take you to their booth if you happen to not be able to find them in this scrolling tab. So we're going to go ahead and click on a booth. So we're going to click on Centos just so you can see what this looks like. So as you can see, the employers actually get to design their own booths. So they're all going to look a little bit different. Hopefully that'll give you an idea of what the company looks like. Down here at the bottom, you can see a description of that company and also any documents that company uploaded. So maybe some information about the jobs that they have, maybe some HR and benefits related information, all kinds of different stuff. So you can click over here to view them, or you can add them to your swag bag. And we'll talk a little bit about your swag bag in just a little bit. That's going to be a really good way for you to get this information after the fair. And then really up here, this is going to be customized depending on the different employers. So a lot of these tabs will take you to Centos's website or their LinkedIn account. So that's going to look different depending on the employer, what they provide there for you. But then this is going to be the main piece where you interact with the employer. So you'll click on this chat button, and it'll open up our chat room. So when you open this up, you'll be able to see all the different chat rooms that are available for you to interact with employers. So you can see that I was automatically added to Centos's chat room. To be added to more chat rooms, you can either go to that employer's booth over here in the fair, or you can click this Join Other Chat Rooms and just go through and click on the different chat rooms that you would like to be added to, and then hit Save. And then you can see I was added to those chat rooms. So within each chat room, you can see who's in the room. So over here where it says online users, there'll be a list of all the people in the room, including the recruiter and other students. So this chat room is a public chat room. So keep that in mind when you are communicating in the chat room, that other people will be able to see that. What will happen though is you'll join this chat room with the employer, and they will be able to see that you're there, And two things can happen. They will either invite you to a direct message that will be private, other people will not be able to see it, or you can initiate the conversation, which we definitely recommend, by chatting in this public chat room or sending a direct message up here in the corner to that employer. I think that really shows initiative that you're going to go ahead and start that conversation and share a little bit about yourself to get the conversation started with the employer. Please know, though, that with the direct messages, the employer does have to accept that, which they will do, but there might be a little bit of a wait there if they're talking with some other students privately. So just know that they might not get back to you right away. There might be a little bit of a wait, kind of like there would be a line at career fair. But again, it shows that initiative that you went ahead and sent them a direct message to introduce yourself. That can be similar to your elevator pitch that you would give at career fair when you walk up to a booth. So maybe even have that typed up or written up off to the side that you can copy and paste that into the direct message and just tailor it a little bit to that employer to introduce yourself, say your name, your major, ask them a question to get the conversation started. There will also be an option in the direct messages for there to be a video call. That's up to the employer, and they would initiate that and get that process started with you. It would be pretty short, but do know that that's an option that employers might want to do. So, of course, when you're preparing for that, you want to make sure that you are dressed professionally because they would be able to see you, and also making sure that there's nothing distracting behind you or nothing that's going to interrupt that conversation around you. So make sure that you're in a good, quiet, private place to be able to have that conversation. But again, you can join different chat rooms and really either wait for the employer to reach out to you or take that extra step to chat with them directly. But again, remember that there might be a wait on that as they chat with other people. I wanted to point out as well, you can join a chat room. Looks like I'm already in it, so that would, here, we'll take that off and then join another chat room. The Ask the Advisor chat room. We will have career advisors from our office monitoring that chat room. So if you have questions at any point, you can join that chat room and ask questions about your resume or about how to introduce yourself to an employer or about really anything related to the virtual fair that you have questions about. You can go there and we'll be able to answer those for you. So the chat room does open up in a different tab. So when you're ready to go back to the actual fair, you can either leave that tab up and just hop over to the fair, or you can close out of that and come back to it later. So to get back to the list of employers, you can go back to floor, and then you would just do that same process with another employer. So clicking on their booth, looking at what they have to offer, and then joining a chat with them. When it comes to joining multiple chats, you can definitely do that to get in line or to get the conversation started with multiple employers. Just know that you might then have to manage multiple conversations in the chat room. So maybe try to do just a couple at a time and then go to the next few on your list. So then up at the top again, we have the video vault. So employers can actually upload videos. So this is a list of all the different videos. You can also look at specific employers within here. So if you ever want to access those, you can come up here. Those videos would also be on those respective employers' booths. And then same with the resources. So those documents that I mentioned that employers might upload, those will all be here. Now back to the swag bag, you can actually, if you find a document that you want to have later for your reference, you can add that to your swag bag by clicking this button here. And then you would go to your swag bag tab here, and you can actually then opt in to email that document to yourself so that you have it for after the fair. You can select all once you have several things in your swag bag, and then just email all those documents to yourself. Next, we'll go to this Auditorium tab. So this is actually where this session is going to be playing over and over throughout the entire time of the virtual fair from 1 to 5. So if you want a refresher on how to do any of this, you can just go to that session and or go to the auditorium and watch this session again. This search resume tab actually will not be available to students. This is a tab that is only available to our employers. That's where they're, again, going to search your resume, maybe by your major, your minor, to be able to find you as well. Then this networking tab, this is another way for you to get to the chat room. So there's several ways to get to the chat room. Again, you can go through the actual employer booth in the exhibit hall, or you can go to this networking tab. It takes you to the exact same place. And then next is the information desk. This is where you can go if you have tech support questions. So I did mention that we have that advisor chat room. That's for more questions related to your career and the fair and interacting with employers. If you have any tech problems related to using the software vFairs, there will be a representative from vFairs monitoring this info desk. So you'll be able to click right here and ask a question related to technology. And then lastly, this lounge tab. This is another way right here for you to click and enter the chat room, so that would open up the chat tab as well. This takes you to all of our different social media accounts if you would like to follow us there. And then lastly, this takes you directly to that Ask an Advisor chat room to get your questions answered. The last thing I want to mention is it's not active right now, but it would be as soon as the fair starts on Wednesday. There'll be a tab up here that says edit your profile. So if you need to make any changes to your resume, add majors and minors that you forgot to list on your registration, whatever it might be, you'll be able to edit your profile right up here so that you can make those changes as you need to. A couple other common questions that we have gotten related to vFairs is what happens if you run out of time? So you're in the chat room, you're on the wait list with several employers, but you run out of time. You will always be able to access the list of employers who were present at the fair on Handshake. So you would be able to go back and view the list of who was here and reach out to them via Handshake. So that would be our best way to recommend getting in contact with these employers. But the employers have done a really good job about making sure that they get everyone's contact information to hopefully have a longer conversation at a separate time. And then another common question that we've been getting is what happens if you need to leave for a little bit, can you come back? Of course. If you need to log off to go do some homework, go to class, whatever it might be, you can definitely log back in. Again, though, you will not be able to log into vFairs until it starts at 1 o'clock on Wednesday. But during that 1 to 5 time frame, you'll be able to log in at any point, log back off, come back, whatever you need to do.